Okay. If you remember, in the last class, we have learned about the mean, median. We learned about the mode, because we are doing variation and classification. We are investigating the variation. We are seeing how much it is different. Okay. So now before I go ahead, I want you to write down this summary part. Okay. Please put down this summary part quickly in your book. To calculate the mean of a set of results, and in the, when you're writing mean, I want you to add one word there, and that is average. Okay, you will write along with mean, you will write the word average also, because mean is nothing but average. So you will say, to calculate the mean or average of a set of results, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to add them all and divide them with the number of results. If you remember, in the last class, I gave you a formula, sum of observations divided by number of observations. Do you remember that, Beta? Yeah. So this is in words. What we wrote as a formula, this is in words. So please put down this first point. Then the second point says that we can show the range and the pattern in the characteristic using a frequency diagram. Then the range is the spread of numbers from smallest to largest. Okay, median is the middle value and mode is the most common value. Here in bracket you can write mode frequency. The number that has the most frequency is the mode.
Ma'am,
Yes, beta.
I forgot what does mean do. I forgot.
Mean is the average. That means what is the average of the variation. That means like for example, in one subject you get say 90. Okay. In another subject you get 80. Okay. So what do you think your average is?
25?
Yeah. How did you get it? 90 plus 80 divided by 2. You get your average. So you will not call yourself as a 90% child, or you will not call yourself as a 80% child, because you've got two different marks. So you will call yourself as an average 85% student. Do you get me, beta?
Yes.
This is mean. This is average. Okay. Many are remaining absent nowadays. Mariam is not there. Fatima is not there. Asma is not there. Sayed is not there. Are you all done writing the summary?
Done.
That's nice, Ayan. I was missing this done. You may take notes from other children, na, beta, and complete your work.
Yes.
Sakib, done, beta?
No, no.
Okay, write it down. Mohammed, which point?
The median is the middle value.
Okay, that's nice. Advaid, which point?
Same as Muhammad.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Nice.
Done, ma'am.
Good. Mohammed, done? Okay. So now we move to the next part of the chapter. Let me clear. Now we are moving towards classifying plants. Okay. Living organisms are classified in groups. Now see, there are many plants, no? All different type of plants. Plants having different type of leaves, plants having different type of fruits. Okay. But then how do we make a study of it? We can't say this plant, that plant. We need to name them. We need to group them for easy study. Okay. So Carl Linnaeus was one of the first people to classify living organisms. He came up with the idea that the living organisms who show the same type of characteristics should be put into a group. And when they are put into a group, it becomes easy for us to learn. So we have seen that he grouped them in species. Okay. We can also classify organisms into much larger groups. For example, we classify all the living organisms that have green leaves and that can do photosynthesis as plants. Yes or no? We name them as plants. The animals that move around, that eat other organisms or eat other food, we call them animals. Yes, Mohammed?
Ma'am,
Yes.
you know that summary part?
Yes.
I thought it was maths and I by mistakenly written in the maths book.
No problem. You can copy it later.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you.
It will help you in maths also. Same thing we are doing in maths. So let it be there in the maths book also, and you can copy it in the science book also. Okay. The plant group and the animal group are called as kingdoms. So the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Now, if we talk about the plant kingdom contains several million different species of plants. Okay. These are classified in 4 major groups. Now, this is what you need to learn. And that is why we did classification. That is why we did variation. That is why we tried to learn about grouping and classifying. Here the main science comes up, and that is that the plant kingdom contains several million different species, okay, which can be classified in 4 major groups. Iske baad subgroups hain. We are only learning the 4 major groups. Okay, the first is the mosses. Mosses are very small plants. Most of them live in damp, shady places. They do not produce flowers. They produce spores for reproduction. Okay, and they have thin leaves that dry out easily. Okay, ये damp places में दिखते हैं. Damp areas are wet areas. Okay, little wet areas are called as damp areas. Shady places means the sunlight doesn't come directly over them. Okay, so they are mosses. Now here is, they have something like spores here. When I say spores means, you can say seed like things for reproduction. Usually what happens, this the bag that is there breaks, the spores come out, and then another plant grows. This is how their reproduction happens. So from one plant to another and then to another, this is how they grow in number. Have you understood about Moses? Any doubt about Moses? The first group is Moses, small plants, damp and shady places, no flowers. They only have spores for reproduction. Okay, and their leaves are thin, which dry out easily. Can we move to the other?
Yes.
Yes, everybody's understood what I'm teaching. Now the next group is
Yes, ma'am.
the next group is the ferns. Okay, now ferns also like to grow in shady places, but they are much bigger than Moses. Now they are a higher grade than Moses. Again, they are not. They are in the shady places. Some of them grow so big that they are called tree ferns. Matlab, now they are not only small plants. They grow big as a tree also. And if a fern has grown like a tree, then you call them as tree ferns. Ferns have leaves called as fronds. You can see these fronds. Okay. They reproduce using spores, and usually what happens now, unke har ek frond mein you can see spores on the back of the frond. Can you see this? These are the seeds which help in the reproduction. Spores, you can say. Yes, the spores grow on the back of their fronds. You might have seen. Oh, leaf ke piche aise black dots jaisa rehta hai. That is ferns. And you can see, their leaves, we can say, like the Christmas tree. Yeah. Have you seen a leaf of a Christmas tree? I don't know.
Yes.
It is like that. So I repeat, ferns, shady place, bigger than moss. Okay. Some grow very big, called as tree ferns. Ferns have leaves that are called as fronds. Okay. Again, no flowers. Spores are there, and spores are found at the back of the fronds. Clear? Yes. Now this was the second group. Now moving to the third group. And third group is called as conifers. Okay. Most conifers grow into large trees. Now they are not small trees, not small plants. Coniferous forest सुना होगा कभी आपने वो word. Conifers is large trees. They often have tough, narrow leaves called as needles. You can see their leaves, how their leaves are narrow, like a needle. They don't have proper flowers. Okay, they have something called as a flower, but they are not proper flowers. Just give me a moment. Okay. So we're talking about conifers, where we said they are large trees. Okay, they have tough, narrow leaves called as the needles. They do not have proper flowers. They reproduce using seeds, and the seeds are produced inside the cones. Now their flowers are actually called as the cones. Okay, and seeds are inside. What happens when this flower, or you may call this fruit or whatever, because they are not proper flowers, they fall down on the ground when it is ripe, and the seeds get scattered, and then a new tree or reproduction happens. Do you understand what I speak? Yes. I repeat, the third group is conifers. Conifers is large trees. Needles, okay, when I say needles, that means their leaves are narrow, no proper flowers. They reproduce using seeds, and seeds are inside the cones. Clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, now we are moving towards the last part, that is the flowering plants. These plants reproduce using seeds that are produced inside the flowers. Okay. Flowering
Ma'am,
plant
what
we've
was the
already.
first group?
First was mosses. Mosses, ferns,
Okay.
conifers, and flowering plants. These are the four groups. Mosses, ferns, conifers, flowering
We
plants.
should write them down, ma'am.
I will let you write. Yeah, I will tell you what to write. See, first you will write the summary, the first point like this, and then I will give you characteristic of each of them. So the first point you may write as classification of plants, and then you will start plants are divided into 4 major groups, and then you can write mosses, ferns, conifers, and flowering plants, and then I'll make you write points for each of them.
Ma'am, should I like this? Like first I'll write summary, below it I'll write plants are divided into 4 groups. Then after below it I'll write the 4 names and then write about it.
Yes, you can do that. The first sentence has been written, so that then I can go to the mosses part and underline what you're supposed to write there.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I move?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody, is it done, beta?
Done.
Now you will write subheading mosses. And your first point will be very small plants. Okay. Second point will be live in damp, shady places. Third point will be do not produce flowers. Fourth point will be produce spores for reproduction. And fifth point will be thin leaves that dry out easily. So Moses, we have 5 points.
Ma'am, it will come does not produce flowers, right?
Yeah, you can write.
Done.
Very good, Anne.
Done.
Nice. Sayed, Asma, you have joined the meeting so late, almost after 20 minutes of the lecture.
Done.
Nice.
Done, ma'am.
Good. So that means now I move to the next part.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now write the subheading as ferns. And I'm going to write the points that you have to write. Underline the points. Write the subheading ferns. The first point will be grow in shady places. Second point will be bigger than Moses. Okay. Some grow so big. Then write a hyphen called tree ferns. Then leaves called fronds. Okay. Don't produce flowers. Next point. Reproduce using spores. Okay. And the spores on the back of their fronds. Last point.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Faster than Ayan.
Done.
Okay, good.
Done, ma'am.
Are you all seriously writing or just done you all are doing? Writing, no?
The second one. Done, done, done.
Done. You all are not writing, you all are only doing done. Can we move to the third one?
Just a second.
Okay, I'm waiting. Mohammed, are you done, beta? Are you
Yes,
done,
ma'am.
beta?
Done.
Okay. Mohammed, what do you feel? Ayan and Advaid are only doing done, or they are really writing?
Tell them to show the book.
They will all disappear, you know that? And we cannot see with because of your background.
And I remove my background, I'll go back to 1980s.
Okay. No issues. Chalo, can I clear this?
No,
Done,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we are moving towards the third group, that is conifers. Write the subheading conifers. The first point is large trees. The
Ma'am, I
second
didn't,
point, yes.
I didn't write it, ma'am. And can you show that? I'll just take a screenshot.
Okay, I'll show you later. Now do conifers. Conifers, large trees,
Yes, ma'am.
tough, narrow leaves. In bracket, put needles. Okay. Don't have proper flowers. Reproduce using seeds. And seeds are inside cones. Write this down very quickly.
Done.
Good.
Done.
ये
Done.
डन 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 ही कर रहे हैं ये लोग, लिख नहीं रहे हैं. Advait, show me your book. Really, you're writing? Okay. Okay. So that means you're writing fast. Sakib, done, beta?
Done, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Say done.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I erase this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are moving towards the last part, that is the flowering plants. So write the subheading flowering plants. And we don't have much to write here. We are going to write flowering plants and we will say reproduce using seeds inside flowers. That's all.
Done, ma'am.
Done.
Okay.
Only this much?
Done.
Yes, only this much for flowering plants.
Done.
Good.
Ma'am, can you show the Ferns one?
Yes, yes, I will. Can I clear this, bacha log, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Which point were you on, beta? In ferns?
Ma'am, I'm in some grove very big called tree ferns. That one.
Ma'am, this much only, ma'am, for today.
Yes, beta.
Okay.
Said you can take a screenshot. Okay. So, Anne, what are we going to do now? We're going to do one thing.
We are going to
We're going
end
to
the
end
meeting.
the class. Okay, end the class for today, and we see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
This was